Icdk Boston stands for Innovation Center Denmark in Boston. We are part of a network of 7 Danish innovation centers around the globe. Innovation Center Denmark opened in Boston in 2019, the capital of life science, enabling Denmark to connect with this world-renowned ecosystem. This vibrant and dense ecosystem is what makes Boston unique. The Boston ecosystem is founded on 5 main pillars. Let's take a closer look at each of them. Universities form the first pillar. Boston is famous for its universities, which have been around for decades, some even centuries. Most people know Harvard and MIT, but there are around 86 institutions altogether. Boston's universities play a pivotal role in the ecosystem by fueling it with a talented workforce and producing world-class research. Startups form the second pillar. They can be formed independently, but more often than not, they are spun out of the universities or corporates and evolve in one of the many incubators and accelerators. For a startup to be successful, it needs venture capital, and this is how the third pillar comes into play. Venture capital forms the third pillar, and Boston is the birthplace of these. In 2020, the venture capital funds in Boston together raised a total of $12.83 billion, the highest ever. Corporates form the fourth pillar. In recent years, Boston has turned out to be one of the dominant tech hubs of the US, making some of the country's largest tech corporates find their way to the city. Some of the biggest tech advancements of our century come from this particular city. Boston was the place of the first recorded telephone call, the place where radars were built during the Second World War, and where both hardware and software for the moon landing were developed. Today, Boston is mostly known for its blooming life science industry. The first US-developed COVID-19 vaccine was made by Boston-based Moderna, and almost all big pharma companies have a department in Boston. The last pillar is made up of governmental authorities and institutions. They make the rules and make sure we are all playing a fair game. The government of Massachusetts has also played a critical role in supporting the life science industry of Boston. All of these 5 actors are found within a very short geographical distance, making the ecosystem of Boston extremely dense. Kendall Square is the unofficial center of the ecosystem and known as the most innovative square mile in the world. Here, you are walking distance between the universities, the incubators, the venture capital funds, and the large corporates. What is Innovation Center Denmark's role in this intricate ecosystem of Boston? We bridge Denmark's and Boston's innovation ecosystems by initiating and facilitating collaboration and partnerships around innovation between the actors that make up these 5 pillars.